Hi there, this is Claudia Orengo from heartmade.es. And as I was working on my rebranding and I was using Claude for a very cool automation, I thought, let's stop and record this as a Tuesday tip tutorial because that's perfect for this series. It's another tip to help you become a faster and better graphic designer. So let me share with you what I've done so far and tell you how you can do it as well, basically. So guide you while I'm doing it. I'm gonna scroll to the beginning of this conversation and tell you why I started like this. So I'm using Claude Cowork. I'm becoming a fan of Claude, and Claude Cowork is amazing because it can integrate several tools and it can go into your computer and do things for you. So what I did was I first designed, draw a lot of illustrations for my new branding in Procreate. I exported all of them as layers. Sorry, I exported all the layers as PNG files and sent them to my computer. And I have them all like these. So the names were really not well organized. It was just layer one, layer two, layer three, right? So I went into Claude, I transferred these into another folder on my computer, which was this one, Walnut Ink, which is going to be one of my branding colors. And I had them here, just like you see on the left. So I went to Claude Cowork and I said, go through the images in this folder because I connected by clicking here and saying add folder. I added that folder and I said, go through the images in this folder and one, identify what the illustration is. So open it and look at it and identify what I draw. Two, take note of the original file name and connect it to what the illustration is. And I told Claude, you can create an internal list or document with the list for future reference, wherever you want, and then change the file name to what the illustration is so it's easier to identify in the future. It took a while, right? But maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes. Yeah, I think top 5 minutes, which is way less than it would have taken for us. So it went through all of my images. It identified what they are, which is incredible, and it changed the names. Then it created this like file name reference, which is md.md, which is like an internal file for Claude to refer to. So it did all the steps. And then I was like, wait, I need these illustrations to be in multiple folders because I'm creating also automations on Photoshop so that it transfers to the new colors, right? So I was like, if I have them all saved with just the illustration name, I won't be able to upload both, for example, on WordPress because it will have like conflicting names. So I told Claude, okay, now let's go over them again and just add this at the end. Just add this at the end because for me it makes sense. It's the name of my color. It just did it super quickly. And then I was like, okay, next step. Now using the file reference, that's why I asked him, create this file reference. Do the same for this warm line folder. And I again linked it following this add folder button. And instead of using walnut ink, just use warm linen and the Xcode. And then I said, remember to use the reference so it changes the proper file to the proper illustration name. It did it super quickly. I was like, oh my God, that's saving so much time. Then I went through the files and I was like, you only confused one illustration. All the others, you nailed them. So there was one that it named Twine Loop and it was a brush. So I was like, go through both folders and change it to brush. And then I created a new color, the terracotta one, and I said, okay, now change the name to terracotta. So I'm gonna show you in practice how I'm gonna continue creating my files. I'm gonna go to my document. I'm gonna copy the next color, which is gonna be the dusty blush. And then I'm gonna go to Photoshop where I will be creating, sorry, this has moved. Okay, let's open the original one. This one will serve whatever file, it's fine because I'm just creating an automation. So I'm gonna go to Photoshop, create my new action, name it. We said this is Dusty Blush, and then this is the color. And then I'm starting here with my automation. So I'm gonna add a new intelligent layer, solid color, paste here my color, then with my alt clicked, it applies here. I combine everything. I then save it in a proper folder that I need to create, the stick blush, and click save. I'm gonna keep the name as it is because I'm just gonna use Claude to change the name. So now that it's done, I'm gonna close it, go to Window, Actions again, just to stop the automation. And here I have it. And then I'll go to File, Automate, Batch, make sure that the folder, so the action is the correct one, the folder that I wanted to be starting from, Walnut Ink, it's fine, choose, and then I'll leave this as it is because I saved as on the proper folder. I will click OK, and then in just seconds, it will appear here in this folder. So it's creating all my files. Now I can even get started with Claude, and I can go here. The only annoying thing is that I have this on top because Photoshop it's taking that memory, but let's wait. Okay, let's wait until it ends. Okay, it's ended. Let me close Photoshop. And then I can go to Claude and say now, so I'm gonna add the folder, Dusty Blush, and I'll say now change the walnut in color part of the file name for, and then I'll say Dusty Blush Terracotta. And then indeed, Dusty Blush folder. And then I'll send this and we can see it in action. Here it says Walnut Ink, and in just seconds it will change to Dusty Blush. Come on, Claude, don't fail me now. Yes, here we have it. Isn't it amazing? I'm loving Claude. I'm loving automating things. So hopefully this has inspired you. If you are creating like branding for other people, if you are creating clip art kits or whatever you are in which you're handling lots of files, this can be an idea that you can implement with Claude. Obviously, there are so many things we can do with Claude, but I was just doing this and I thought it would be very cool to share with you. Hopefully, you will find this inspiring. Let me know through the comments as always, please. I cannot wait to read what you think. Bye.